Hi everyone, good afternoon. Myself Prem Ghodke, I am from ERPNext Private Limited, Pune. I am doing job in this company from last 6 years as a senior accounts executive. Rio Fusion Drink actually, Rio Innovate Private Limited basically leading and growing up company in beverage industry actually. We have our own products, own brand, Rio Fusion Drink and Rio Boom Energy Drink. Rio is one of leading and growing up company in beverage industry. Rio Innovate Private Limited, Rio Innovate Private Limited expanded business in beverage industry with changing his packaging before 1 year. Now we are in our new avatar hip hop. ERPNext is our new avatar for our operations. We will show you now.
So actually, Mr. Rajiv Sangoi, the CEO, was supposed to be for the session, and unfortunately, his son got some injury, and there's an operation today, so he has not been able to make it. So I would first of all like to thank Mr. Prem also, Mr. Rajiv also, for first of all accepting the presence and co-present the the case study, the transformation case study. So I'd just like Mr. Prem to first introduce him. And I am Asim Nilose, CEO IBSL. So, and we are Frappe partners. Yeah.
Basically, Rio Innovate Private Limited established in 2011. छोटा हो गया टेक्निकल इश्यू इसमें कम आ रहा है. Basically, Rio Innovate Private Limited established in 2011. In 10 years journey time, we have produced 55 lakhs cases in 10 years life journey. Rio Fusion is two-number brand in college, schools, and events. College, schools, canteens. Rio is a two rank drink in 12 municipal corporations. Actually, we have our own plant in Hadapsar, Pune of 14,000 square feet. We have 550 lakhs cases sold in last year. Actually, we have been spreading, we have been growing. Rio is established in 2011. We have completed 10 years in beverage industry actually. We produce and manufacture 55 lakhs cases, which was sold 4.5 lakh cases in last year 2022. In cans, we will count it will be 12 million cans. We have own factory at Hadapsar, Pune. We can produce and manufacture 1.1 lakh cases capacity. We utilize 40% in last year. Our market spread, we are now in 50 plus towns and cities in 3 states. We have our 37,000 retailers and 200 plus distributors, super stockists and channel partners. We have our own factory in Hadapsar, Pune. But as per our growth and leading, we have some doubts in our process. Actually, we use Tally for finance, payroll, and Excel spreadsheets for HR department. For inventory management, we use Excel spreadsheet. And we have 200 sales staffs. We use different application in sales actually. As per our growth, we needed integrated process, inventory visibility, faster information. We all department use different applications. So we required one software where we all in one page. We took on an ERP and partner relation journey. ERPNext referred by one of our business partner. It is easy of use, handy and analytics, unlimited user plan, comparable to any larger ERP like SAP. IBSL, an option by Prep. Actually, IBSL, Mr. Asim sir, convinced us for use of ERPNext. And we are happy with ERPNext actually. We know that similar industry experience to IBCL, positive referral and site visit, commitment and implementation approach. When we finalize ERPNext on Frappy, we have one challenge and confusion. Asim sir actually discuss us and suggest us build better. We choose Frappy Cloud actually. Now there is no second thought as no downtime, and we get updates on click on button.
Yeah, so things actually then had to be started once, we were there, and we were glad that, we were also close to customer being in Pune. Obviously, we intend wherever the implementation is, we try to be close to the customer as possible, and here it was a, natural option. So when we started the kickstart and the kickoff has to be, very well planned, and that is where the structure comes in place. So your project plan has to be in place. The setting up of the objectives. So when you are having the kickoff, so the setting up of the project objectives and setting up of the organization objectives. So everybody has to be on the same page, and that is the one of the initial steps that we took up, put up a structured project plan, communication plan. And in terms of timelines, yes, there are, in ERP implementations, there are some X percentage of timelines that goes here and there, but it's important to have the plan. That's what we had in place. And the implementation approach, that is the most important thing that we focus, and that's what we focused here also. And I want to actually, the positive approach which the Rio had taken actually, the organization starting from the top leadership to the end users, in terms of understanding the criticality of the process mapping, and that the lesser the customizations that you take, the more, the more effective and more smooth the system is. And I always say that, when you are doing the implementation, the cost is of not doing the customization. Cost is not in doing the customization. Because for not doing the customization, you need to have senior folks who can talk business, who can convince, who can push business when needed, and set up a best of the processes for the business people and all, and identifying the data source. I think in the previous two presentations back, Jay had mentioned. So this was the same thing. I think correlates here. So in the implementation, identify the source of the data, and that is where you try to fix the process. So basically you are avoiding the redundancy of the transactions. So that was something of critical success factor that was identified here, and the whole management and the the business team of Rio actually got aligned, and that actually made things easy also for us. And one of the important point is that when we set up the process, so like for example, the production entry process. So there are at least 8 to 10 different ways for recording the production management. But what suits best for your organization as your industry, as your process, as your people maturity, and all those, your paper flow maturity and all. So accordingly you take, and that is something that we did here also, assess all the maturity levels and then identify what should be the the best of the processes for this organization. There is at times, debate within the open source or, this tier of ERPs, whether we need to have 1 or 2 people addressing all the business functions across in the implementation, or we have the dedicated people by business domain. But we in our organization typically take an approach, sometimes it stretches the timeline, but then it gives us the best of the results, where the team structures are typically, so the same structure was, for Rio. So we had a team, we had consultant for manufacturing and supply chain, for finance, And typically for manufacturing supply chain, the person is having the industry background and with the ERP experience. And similarly on finance side, it is somebody with CA inter type of expertise or with industry domain, and then coming with the product expertise. And for similarly, normally you won't find that except for the SAPs and all, that people, you have dedicated people who are expert in the quality control processes and all, but we follow that approach. And for HR and payroll, at least these are the broad areas, and for the master data and the other things and all the technical side and all, that is a separate thing. But from a domain point of view, this is how the team was structured, and it was a mix of onshore and offshore, so that's how this structure. And in terms of the implementation approach, so I will be placing this particular slide eventually on social media for debates and all. But the crux of it, I just want to bring up, and this is the approach that we took it in this implementation, because they have gone with all the core modules, the consultants that I mentioned of, so sales, purchase, inventory, the manufacturing, finance and all. And we this time had at least around 9 to 10 projects going live on 1st of April. So the preparation had to be well in advance. So one of the important approaches that we followed in this project and in other projects was 2 months before the go live, we are actually doing a go live. We are actually taking the inventory. We are actually doing the rehearsal of how do we take the inventory. Because many a time, last moment, it happens that, we want to go for batch management or serial management, but then we don't know how to capture, because we have not been traditionally capturing all this data and all. So this was one of the approaches. And then, you see the middle part of it, where the refined processes and the parallel processes. So these 2 months time frame after the data live and all. So this was into doing the same processes again and again, taking a feedback, refining the feedback, and then by 31st of March, we are at a place where people are actually operational. We take the cutoff again, and then move on from there. So that is the approach that we had taken here. And to tell you, this is the snapshot as of 3 days back. No server scripts, no client scripts. This is a zero customization implementation. Okay. So some of the immediate benefits, actually, I would like, so Mr. Prem actually, when Rajesh was not able to make, and I said, I came to know Premji is coming. So, and he's from the finance department, which is typically a more challenging, or people like to hear out what is the, typical problem, or how they actually cut off the, current system tally and then move on to, so the benefits I'll have Premji, please speak, please. Thank you.
एक्चुअली इंटीग्रेटेड सिस्टम में सर मेरे को ये फ़ायदा हुआ, एक्चुअली मैं हिंदी प्रेफर करता हूँ सर, थोड़ा कन्फ्यूजन हो रहा है। तो इंटीग्रेटेड सिस्टम में सर क्या हो रहा है कि एक्चुअली मेरे पहले 4 जो मॉड्यूल्स है वो सब एक्चुअली HR एक्सेल में काम कर रहा था, स्टोर्स डिपार्टमेंट दूसरे एक्सेल में काम कर रहा था, डिस्पैच डिपार्टमेंट दूसरे एक्सेल में काम कर रहा था, और सब आके वो बाद में अकाउंट्स के टीम के ऊपर ही आता था। सो इंटीग्रेटेड सिस्टम से मेरे को ये फ़ायदा हुआ कि सब रिपोर्ट्स, मेरा स्टोर का कुछ स्टॉक देखना है, RMPM FG का कुछ स्टॉक देखना है, तो सब मेरे को इंटीग्रेटेड सिस्टम, ऑल डिपार्टमेंट शुड बी ऑन वन पेज, मेरे को सब एक ही जगह मिलने लगा। क्लियर WIP विजिबिलिटी अपार्ट फ्रॉम RMPM FG। स्टॉक के लिए मेरे को हर टाइम डिस्पैच वाले को बात करना था, आज का क्लोजिंग क्या है, उसके मेल का वेट करना पड़ता था। तो मेरे को ये सब वर्क इन प्रोग्रेस और RMPM FG में मेरे को क्लियरिटी आने लगी। स्ट्रक्चरल बिल ऑफ मटेरियल्स एंड प्रोडक्ट कॉस्टिंग, ये जो मेन है ये मेरे को मिलने का, मेरे को पता था मेरा कॉस्ट ऑफ मटेरियल 50% है, तो ओपनिंग स्टॉक प्लस परचेस माइनस क्लोजिंग स्टॉक इज इक्वल टू कंजम्पशन। मेरे को पता था मेरे बिजनेस का कॉस्ट ऑफ गुड्स मटेरियल 50% है, तो टैली में एक ऑप्शन है ओपनिंग स्टॉक प्लस परचेस माइनस क्लोजिंग स्टॉक इज इक्वल टू कंजम्पशन। मेरे को पता है 50% मेरे को मैच करना है। लेकिन ERPNext में मेरे को ये फायदा हो रहा है कि एट एक्चुअल पोजीशन स्क्रैप में कितना गया, प्रोसेस लॉस कितना है, एक्चुअल लॉसेस कौन सी जगह क्या हो रहा है, वो मेरे को उधर मिलने लगा एक्चुअली। क्वालिटी कंट्रोल इज अ पार्ट ऑफ कोर प्रोसेस विद इन द सिस्टम। क्वालिटी कंट्रोल के सब रिपोर्ट्स मेरे को एक्चुअली ERP नेक्स्ट में मिलने लगे। जो जब मैं परचेस का काम कर रहा, परचेस जब इनवॉइस बनता था तो इनवॉइस आता था, स्टोर में जाता था, उसका GRN बनता था, बाद में अकाउंट्स में आता था, बाद में उसका पेमेंट होता था। लेकिन मेरे को वन क्लिक भाई मिलने को दिखाई दे रहा है कि भाई इसका मटेरियल रिसीट किसने बनाया, गुड्स रिसीट नोट किसने बनाया, परचेस का एंट्री किसने मारा है, और अब मेरे को अभी पेमेंट करना है। उसकी वजह से पेपर वर्क की बहुत सारा मेरा कम हो गया है। कंट्रोल्स इन द फॉर्म ऑफ वर्कफ्लोज, रियलिटी कैश फ्लो फॉर द फ्लो व्यू। मेरे को अभी समझ में आ रहा है कि मेरे डायरेक्टर को, मेरे को समझ में आ रहा है कि मेरे पास कैश फ्लो कितना है, क्लोजिंग स्टॉक एट द टाइम, एट द सिचुएशन, एट द टाइम कितना है अभी मेरे पास। तो एक बहुत सारे बेनिफिट हो गए एक्चुअली। मेरे को IBSL को शुक्रिया करना है, क्योंकि अभी 4 महीने हो गए हम लाइव गए हैं। 4 महीने में मेरा टैली बंद कर दिया है, और हमने एक भी कस्टमाइजेशन एक्चुअली नहीं किया है। अभी सॉफ्टवेयर में हमने एक भी कस्टमाइजेशन नहीं किया है। लेकिन जो मेरे को चाहिए था एज अ अकाउंटेंट्स, मेरा 10+ एक्सपीरियंस हो गया अकाउंट्स एंड फाइनेंस फील्ड में, तो मेरे को जो चाहिए था एक्चुअली एज अ अकाउंट्स में, तो ERP नेक्स्ट से मेरे को सब मिल रहा है विदाउट एनी कस्टमाइजेशन। जो मॉड्यूल्स पहले से दिए थे, जो फीचर्स पहले से है, उस पर ही हम काम कर रहे हैं अभी। बी फ्रैंकली बोलने का तो यही है एक्चुअली। इसमें कुछ भी कस्टमाइजेशन नहीं किया है। ऑन टाइम सपोर्ट IBSL पूरी तरह अच्छे से IBSL सपोर्ट कर रहा है। और 1 साल में मतलब टैली 4 महीने हो गया, हमने पूरा के पूरा बंद कर दिया है। इस साल की बैलेंस शीट भी हमारी ERP नेक्स्ट में ही फाइनल होगी। थैंक यू।
So now actually, I mean Rajiv ji actually he himself is like sort of getting into analytics and trying to see and derive value from the system, and that's where we from our domain expertise also try to bring out whatever best that we can. And we like as partners just don't remain focused around one of the specific areas that we are here for ERP implementation and all, but then we are also connected with some of the other organizations on the sustainability goals and all, and we are working with Rio Innobev to see that how we can leverage ERP Next for achieving their sustainability goals as well. Thank you.